Hello friends, it's Rainy. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do my June FlossTube update and my July cross-stitch knitting, like crafty plans. It is currently, what is today? Well, let's look at the watch. Oh, it is Saturday, June 28th as I'm filming this. So, you know, there's potential for a few more stitches to be put into something, but possibly not. So but we'll just talk about that as we go along. I have a finish, yay. So I'll probably show you that first. I have some knitting progress. I have a few whips. I didn't work on a ton of stuff this month, but I got a lot of progress on those things. And I have a lot of haul. I know, that's interesting for me. I don't normally do haul, I feel like. And when I do, it's not a lot. So this is a treat for those of you who like haul. And I'll do some life stuff. Maybe I'll just do the life stuff right now. I mean, there's not a lot, but I have been doing a workout and diet challenge starting June 1st. I've been doing this with some other FlossTube friends who you probably follow, and if you aren't, you should be. I've been doing it with Alicia from Adventures of Stitching and Leanne from Small Town Stitches. We are doing the 75 medium challenge. If you do any, I had just learned about it. I didn't know that it's been around for a while, but there's a challenge that got popular a few years ago on like the fitness media, social media avenues, called 75 Hard. And there's like 5 rules to it, but like at least 2 of the rules are just like not realistic, depending on like your work situation and your weather situation. So Leanne and Alicia and I decided to do like a soft or medium version. And so far for me, I think we're on day 20, I think. And I think it's going really well for all of us, really. But personally, for me, I think it is. I am officially down 4 pounds, which is great because, I mean, obviously I haven't really been trying that hard. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I need to go get some water before I hack to death. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I don't know why, I just don't always remember to just get a glass of water before I start filming, because I always need it for some reason. But anyway, I think I was telling you that I am officially down 4 pounds, and that's cool for me because I feel like for a few years, even though I walk a lot, like I would say on a good day, I walk like 5 miles a day with my dad because he is retired, so he will come and walk with me on my lunch break from work. We have like one of those old abandoned malls. It's not really abandoned, but might as well be. So we walk around the mall for about 45 minutes. And then if the weather is decent, which it really hasn't been lately, but if it is, then we have been walking in the evenings too, because I'll usually stop at their house on my way home from work, and then we'll walk, and then I'll, you know, go home and do my things at home. So on a good day, I walk 5 miles a day, but I was not seeing any weight loss at all. And I wasn't really doing anything with my diet, but I didn't really think I ate badly. but I wasn't tracking anything, and because I hate tracking, to be honest with you. But with this 75 medium, you're supposed to just eat healthy or pick a diet plan, but it's not as strict as 75 hard. So I decided that my diet was just going to be to track my calories and try to eat at a calorie deficit. So I have been doing that, and I think that coupled with the fact that I have also been weightlifting. Now, by weightlifting, I think the highest I've gone in weights is 11 pounds. So it's not like I'm lifting super heavy or anything, but I think that the calorie deficit thing, with some strength training instead of just cardio, just walking, has been helping me. And yeah, I think like I'm finally starting to get some muscle and start seeing some like legit weight loss that hopefully will stay off and continue to go down a little bit more. So I know that it's not all about the weight, but when your clothes don't fit the way you think that they should, especially for a girl, it is nice to have the number on the scale go down a little bit. Even though progress isn't linear and I know I will gain here and there, I would just like the general trajectory to be down for a while. So anyway, that is basically what my life has been throughout June. Also, I've been doing a Bible in 90 days reading plan with Alicia, and that's been going well. I've been using an audio Bible though, because I just can't focus on reading that much of the Bible with my eyeballs every day. So I knew I would get behind if I did it that way. So I've been listening to David Suchet read the Bible. So that's been really cool. I've really enjoyed this pace of reading the Bible. Like I'm not getting every little thing. I'm not deep diving into anything, but it's just cool to see the narrative. And we're doing it in a chronological format, so that's even cooler because we can see like where things happened in the Bible instead of the way the Bible is normally set up, which is not chronological. So necessarily, I mean, the Old Testament and the New Testament are, but like the books of the Old Testament are not really chronological all the time. So anyway, that's my life through June, is just the Bible and strength training and sweating profusely, both from my workouts and from the humidity outside in Western Pennsylvania right now. It's just it's good times. So, but that is not what you're here for. So now we will go into the stitching and the knitting and all the things. So I will show you, first let me show you my knitting, because I've been only working on one knitting project and I've been working on it for a long time and it is still not done, but I have made progress on it. So hold on, let me get that. So I have been working on the Flutter Butt, well, it's actually called the Flutter Butt shirt by Jessie Made Designs. And I started this with a knit along hosted by Devin from Nitty McPurley. I will link her channel below. She is a Catholic Christian knit tuber, I guess you would call her. I don't know. I don't think they have like their own kind of slogan-y name like FlossTube or anything, but she does knitting podcasts basically on YouTube, and she started this cowl for the flutter butt shirt, which she called the flutter butt. And I thought this was really cute. And I had some fingering weight yarn in my stash that I was not sure what to do with, and I thought it would be perfect for this. It gave me some issues because I think because of the way the fabric that makes the yarn, it is not wool like typical nice fancy yarn is. It is like a cotton flax blend, so it doesn't really stretch and it doesn't really plump up, and it's kind of like uneven. So I had some sizing issues for a while, but I'm finally through the body of it, and I am working on this bottom ruffle now. So here is, oops, where I'm at, which it basically just looks like like a rectangle right now. So, but I also kind of messed up see how this back panel is stretchy? This is the neck, obviously. I remembered to do the stretchy bind off here. I did not on this, which is technically supposed to be the front, although I really don't think that it matters. So probably when it's done and blocked and everything, I will just try it on both sides and see like what feels better on my neck, because I know it's going to be like not the way that I normally like to have, because I don't like things like really close in my neck, and I know from trying this on it's going to be like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to see which way feels better. And I also had to do a 3 needle bind off on the shoulders here, and I had never done a 3 needle bind off before, but I think I did okay. It looks nice. So I did though mess it up the first time on one shoulder, and kind of had to, I don't know, you can't really, thankfully you can't really tell, but see, okay, so see how this ridge is kind of big and this ridge is not? That is because I thought I was binding off, but really I was not. So I had to kind of go back and rebind it off. I don't know how to explain it, but I did it wrong. So, but I don't really think, I mean, it was on the inside, so you can't really tell. So, and now I am on the ribbing portion, or not the ribbing portion, the ruffle portion. So I'm excited to see how that will turn out, because the instructions for it, I'm like, how is this going to make a ruffle? I don't understand, but apparently it does. So I'm gonna trust. This shirt has been a whole new world for me. I didn't really think it was going to be as difficult as it was, but I also used Devon's gauge switcheroo worksheet because my gauge was not the same as the designer's gauge, and I knew I wanted to work with this yarn, and I didn't want to go down to like, you know, a sock size knitting needle, because that would be like so small, and I wouldn't have any you had to use like 2 different size needles, and the bigger size needle, if I got gauge with the designer, would be so small. I don't think I would have a smaller needle size to go for the smaller portion that I needed. So I used Devon's gauge switcheroo worksheet, and it actually worked out. It looks like it's going to work out perfectly. I was concerned for a while before I kind of stitched the shoulder seams together that it would be too big, but it was not. It worked out perfectly. So I will be utilizing that worksheet for like everything now, because that's like a game changer. If I want to use a certain yarn and it's not what the pattern suggests, or I can't get the gauge or whatever with it, I can still use the yarn as long as I kind of do the math, which Devin has pretty much already done for me. So game changer. I highly recommend. And Erica from Stitchy Reese Pieces, I'm looking at you with your sweaters that, you know, sometimes do not fit. So, because I don't like to swatch either, to be quite honest with you. But I have started to somewhat. But and you have to, I guess, to do the gauge switcheroo worksheet, because you have to know what your gauge is. But if you are like dead set on using a certain yarn, that is the way to do it. And you do still have to gauge though, or to swatch though, Erica. Now we will move on to the stitching portion, the cross stitching portion, because that was my only knitting piece. So first we will show you my finish. And it is well, I'll just show it to you because it's done. So this is the Mustard Seed by Nebby Needle. And this was a gift from Tara from the Recovering Book Hoarder. Sorry, I got tongue-tied there. This was a birthday gift a couple years ago from Tara, and I have not ironed it or anything yet. My plan and Tara's plan on giving me this 18 count shale is the colorway from Picture This Plus. Her plan by doing 18 count with this pattern was so that I could fit it in an A5 journal, because I was going to start doing that and putting them in like a stitchy prayer journal situation. So I am still wanting to do this, but this is only going to be my second piece that I will be adding to that journal. But yeah, I thought, 2 years. She gave this to me for my 40th birthday, so 2 years was too long, and I needed to start and finish this, so I did. Now, I guess I will put up, if I still have it, the picture, the original picture of what it should look like, because I decided to do all of the wording in the same color because Tara gave me a lot. She gave me all fancy flosses. She kitted this up for me. And she gave me, I think, 2 skeins of the brownish color. And so I was going to have leftovers of that. So rather than just continuing with the green and the yellow, I just decided to do the brownish color. The other thing I did that the pattern did not suggest, but I just did not read, was I should have done it with just one strand to get, well, I should. It recommended that I do one strand, but I just started doing it with 2. I wasn't thinking, and I actually like that because it just, I don't know if one strand would really have shown up well enough on this fabric. I don't know, it might have, but I like how this turned out. So that is my finish of Mustard Seed. Yay! Finally got them finished. I think I'm just gonna have to have like smaller pieces to actually get finishes, because with full coverages, I'm never gonna get anything finished. That's not true. I will get things finished, but it just seems like it'll take a long time. And I don't have any like a stitch count that I did because it was a paper pattern. I guess that's not obvious, but it was paper pattern. So oh, and I did forget to tell you that I calculated that I did about 4,300-ish stitches in the month of June. So not super high, but also I don't know that stitch count is completely correct, because I sort of like guesstimated my amounts for Mustard Seed and put it into my spreadsheet. And it's the one from the Rainbow, I forget what the name of the shop is, but I'll link I'll link it below too. It's an Etsy shop that has a stitch, like an Excel kind of spreadsheet for all your stitches, and it's really great. It's awesome, and a lot of stitchers have used that, and Ebony from Stitches with Ebony, and I believe Jen the Craftinated Crafter have both put out kind of overviews, tutorials with that spreadsheet, so I can link them below too. I'll definitely link Ebony's because I know she did one, but I think also Jen did one too. So let me think. What else was I going to say? I guess that was it. So yeah, let's just move on to my whips now, since you saw my finishes. So in the month of June, I started a 2,000 stitch rotation, but I am just for my projects, and I would spin a wheel and do try to get 2,000 stitches, or it was like a 2-week focus or 2,000 stitches, whatever came first. So I started that. And I started that with Rivendell from Country Magic Stitch. I will put a picture of what it will look like when it is done. And it's a small piece, but it is full coverage. And I started my 2-week focus with it. But I don't remember why, but I was not getting like the stitching time in the first 2 weeks of June that I wanted to. So when we got to the end of the 2 weeks, I did not get to exactly 2,000 stitches. I got to 1,800 sorry. I got distracted by something else on my little notes thingy. 1,828 stitches total, which is still great. But it wasn't my 2,000 that I wanted. So here is, well, first of all, here's where it was when you saw it last. And here is where it is now. Now I will say, Alicia from Adventures of Stitching and Leanne from Small Town Stitches are both working on this one as well, or they were. Well, yeah, I don't know if they're in active rotation or not, but we've all been working on this one, and Alicia and I both don't know what the deal is, but all this like house thingy here is not very defined. The colors are off, but we both have that problem. Now Leanne's, on the other hand, is really defined and looks really nice. Now it does look better here than it looks to me close up in person. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's like bumming me out that it doesn't look that defined. So I'm having trouble wanting to work on it. But I still will, because maybe once I get more into it, maybe it'll look better. It does look better on screen. But I'm almost finished with one page. I think it's only 4 pages total. So it's currently at 24.81%. So it does look good. I just don't love that the roofs and things are so light. I think that's what it is, because like, see the tower, if I bring it in, you can see all the definition and all the little brown bits in there, but if I pull it back, you can barely see that. So I don't know what to do. Does anybody have any suggestions? I've thought about back stitching it, but there's no other back stitch in the whole thing, and I'm kind of like, do I really want to do that? I don't mind back stitching, but I just don't know if it's gonna snowball into me feeling like I need to back stitch everything. So I don't know. But anyway, this is what I did for my first 2-week focus. And then, and I should have said, I'm not 100% sure what count this fabric is. It is either 20 or 22 count. And I forgot to, I can figure that out, but I just forgot. So, but it was a piece that I took from another abandoned piece, and I just forget now what it is, but it's either 20 or 22 count. I'm thinking it's 22 count, but I don't remember. So I'll try to actually measure that by the next time we talk, and by the next time I work on it, and I will actually make note of it for once in my journal that I use for this. The next 2-week focus that I worked on, that my wheel spun, was Sweet Nectar by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Molly Harrison, and I just printed, either I printed this or my friends who gifted this to me printed it. Mandy from Mandy Pinecone on Instagram, and Sarah from The Bookish Knitter. They gifted this one to me for my 40th birthday, and I have been working on it off and on, and it is going to be a long-term project. It is huge, but actually so far it hasn't been super duper confetti heavy, because I mean, obviously the hummingbird probably will be, and I have experienced some of that because I have gotten to the tip of this wing here, but most of the background is really not, well, at least up here, is not super confetti heavy. So sometimes, like when I was working on it, if I didn't have a lot of stitching time, I'd just be like, well, I'll just work on some background today, try to get a bunch of stitches in. And then whenever, if I was like, I really want to see more of the bird come through, so then I would buckle down and work on some confetti stitches. So anyway, here is where it was the last time you saw it. And let me get all my strings out of the way. Okay, and here is where it is now. And again, I'm sorry that I didn't iron, but again, like I have said in my last few videos, if I ironed everything, we would never have an update because I don't know anymore right now. I cannot be bothered. So anyway, you can see this is a giant piece of fabric. I mean, I'm not gonna unfold it, but it's pretty big, and you can see how big the tip of that wing is. So it's gonna be a pretty big piece. So it's gonna take a long time, but I'm really enjoying stitching this one. So I got to 1,091 stitches, and it reached 3.21%. And this is on 22 count hard anger. And this would have been my 2-week focus, or 2,000 stitches. That was the plan. But I got to 1,091 stitches, and I was just kind of like, I'm feeling another project. So I was like, I'm not going to force myself. And this wouldn't be, I do enjoy stitching this. So I might actually go back and work on this for the rest of the weekend, since I reached another goal on another project. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm just not going to hold myself to the 2,000 if I'm like ready to switch, which I was. So but yeah, I think this looks really good, and did I tell you, got to 3.21%. So moving right along. I would actually like to get this to 5% by the end of the year, but that might be an August decision on how I'm going to do that, because I have some other plans for July that are going to basically take up my entire July. So, but this was Sweet Nectar by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Molly Harrison. The next project that I was just for some reason feeling like working on was Beatles collage by Stitches So Beautiful. Yes. I wanted to say Be Stitch Me, and I was like, I don't think that's right. Stitches So Beautiful. And the reason is because I will be working on another Stitches So Beautiful piece for July, and I was just like, oh, I'm really feeling like working on one of their projects because they are really nice and they're not so far a ton of confetti, so it is kind of like a nice change sometimes from a Haid Heaven and Earth design that can be really, really confetti heavy. I like their stuff too, don't get me wrong, but yeah, Stitches So Beautiful just seems like they aren't like super confetti heavy, so it's nice. But anyway, here is where Beatles collage was the last time you would have seen it. And this is still on my Nerge hoop because I was actively working on this until this video. But here is where it is now. And still like not a lot going on in this one, but it is, let's see, I put exactly 1,000 stitches on it. So I think this just proves to me that I need to just stick with the 1,000 stitch rotation when I do a rotation, because I have more variety each month if I do that, and I get more of my projects touched by that point. So I got 1,000 stitches, and this is now at 1.80%. So which is good because I just started this the beginning of this year, I believe. So I didn't make note of when my actual start date was, but so yeah, it's coming along nicely. And of course, this too is just background, so I may eat my words with the not a lot of confetti business once I get to the main section of the work. But I will say, like, this tree here has confetti, obviously, like you can kind of see, like there's a lot of, but it's not like one stitch of a color here and one stitch. You will have that on occasion, but it's mostly like you'll have a good amount. Usually I feel like I have enough for like one whole strand of floss on a color in that section before I have to switch colors. So, and I'm kind of, well, obviously you can see I'm doing this in a diagonal for this one, at least for now. But I'm kind of trying to do it in like the typewriter method, sort of, that Sarah the Stitchin' Mommy does. Although in some spots I did not go with that, but I'm just trying to like kind of work my way down in a 10 by 10 block. Or actually, I think I'm in a 20 by, I don't know, I'm not really doing blocks, but I think it's like a 20 stitch diagonal that I made. So, but yeah. So this was my last whip of the month of June. I almost said January. So yeah, so now that's all my whips. So let's move into haul. I thought that this video would be a lot longer, but well, we still have some things to talk about, so it probably will be fairly long. But hold on one second while I switch some stuff around and get my haul and my plans nearer to where I am sitting. So I think we're gonna talk about plans, and it's kind of going to have haul in it. So if you're not like a huge haul person, but you like plans, stick around because I'm just going to be showing you my haul within my plans. And then there's going to be like one item of haul that I really doubt that I'm going to get to in July. So, but it's still relevant because if I do get, a hankering to start it, then I might, I don't know. But anyway, so July in the United States is we have Independence Day in the beginning on the 4th of July. So I just, have a patriotic feeling in July all the time. And I decided that for the whole month of July, I am going to focus on one or two patriotic stitches. So one is a whip and one is going to be a new start. And then also I have a knitting new start that I am hoping to start in the month of July. So let's start with the whip that I'm going to focus on for the full month of July. It's not going to be a monogamous month, but like I did in May, but I really didn't even do it in May, quite honestly. At the end of the month, I picked something new, or I, worked on another whip. But I do want to work on Freedom by Heather Jose Rosa and charted by Stitches So Beautiful. That was the one that I was thinking about the other week, and I was just like, I just love Stitches So Beautiful patterns so much. I want to do my Beatles pattern before I start on my Freedom pattern in July. So I just love this one so much. I love all the colors. I love the Statue of Liberty, obviously. I love it all. So this is done, I should say, this is done on 25 count white Lugana. And I have the little sticker on the back of my little laminated, look at me, laminated picture, sticking the fabric information to the back of it. I need to do this for all of my patterns. But anyway, here is where we are currently. And I forgot to look up the percentage. And there's like all these flosses hanging. I'm sort of kind of doing a diagonal, as you can tell, but I think I'm also probably going to just be, well, I don't know. I might possibly continue on with the diagonal. Yeah, I feel like this, so far, Stitches So Beautiful patterns, the two that I have, work really well with diagonals because, like I said, they aren't like super confetti heavy, so it's kind of nice to just like, zigzag down through the colors for a while. So yeah, so I might do that. We'll see. But I am so excited that I am into some blue instead of just all that brown. So that's why I say I might go a little bit rogue with the diagonal, because I have a feeling that I'm going to get real bored of just brown. So I'm probably going to want to do some other colors, but we'll see. So that is going to be my focus project for the entire month. And I really have only been getting about 4,500 stitches, which I shouldn't say that, but I am kind of in past years used to doing way more stitches in a month, so it's a little bit like, what the heck is happening? But I do have some other things going on. Like I am knitting. I'm trying to work through some knitting projects, and I am exercising a lot right now. And I do kind of want to keep that up even after the 75-day challenge that I'm doing. And I'm trying to read more. I am like kind of falling back on audiobooks again because of wanting to stitch and knit more. But yeah, I have a lot of things that I like to do. And then, obviously I got to take care of my house. I want to and gotta foster relationships with my friends and my family. So, those things take precedence sometimes over doing my crafty things. So anyway, that is that. So, Okay, so this is where we're going to get into some new starts. I know, really. And some hot. So, my friend Kim, the contented needleworker Kim, on Instagram and I almost said Facebook. I don't know. She might be on Facebook, but Instagram and YouTube. She informed me of the Jane Austen literature series by Twin Peaks Primitives. Twin Peaks Primitives. Did I say that correctly? That was coming out this year for the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's death, I believe, coming up in, I think this next year is the 250th year, so 2026, I believe. But anyway, in July, in the BookTube community, is Jane Austen July. So I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna need to stitch one of these. So Kim and I are going to do a stitch along with two of these patterns. I believe she said another friend of hers is doing one as well, and I cannot remember who she said it was. So Kim, if you watch this, let me know. Tell us in the comments who else is joining us for this start along. Might be stitch along, probably start along. But I decided all the patterns are out now. So if you go to Twin Peak Primitives. Oh my gosh. I got it from their Etsy shop so that I could get a PDF. But I also went to their website, and I'm not sure if their website was PDF copies or just paper copies. So I'll link both below. But I went to their Etsy store and they're all there. So I decided to do the Northanger Abbey, which was the last one that they put out. But I'm going to tell you the one thing that I am not thrilled with, and I'm going to have to do some recharting of it, is this quote is the exact same quote that's on the Mansfield Park stitch that they made. And when I did, a little bit of research, this quote is from Mansfield Park. So I am not really sure why they put this quote on the Northanger Abbey one, because there are at least a few good quotes from Northanger Abbey that they could have used instead. One, and I cannot quote it right now because I'm, I didn't just look at it, but it's a quote about people who read books. And I'm like, that's the one I want. So I will be recharting at some point this quote, because I don't want, if I do end up doing all 6 of the Quakers, I don't want the same quote on 2 of the pieces. And I did try to contact them, and they did respond, but I don't know if it's a language barrier thing, but I feel like nothing got accomplished with my inquiry into potentially getting the quote recharted. If you bought the pattern and you were like not happy with the fact that there were the same quote on 2 pieces, I don't understand. So anyway, that's my one little beef, but I love the rest of the pattern. And Henry Tilney from Northanger Abbey is definitely up there in my favorite Jane Austen heroes. So I think that this guy, who is, I'm sure, supposed to be Henry Tilney, looks a lot like the Henry Tilney in the in the Northanger Abbey version the movie version that I have watched. So yeah, So I was excited about that. So yeah, I decided to at least start with this piece. And then so this is haul piece number 1. I got the PDF version. And then I also got a piece of fabric from 123 Stitch. And it is Fiber on a Whim, 20 count Ada in the color Moonstone. I think that'll look nice with this. So I was a little worried, about some of the tans and the yellows kind of not showing up, but I think it'll be okay. Oh, did you just hear that? I think that was thunder. Maybe you didn't hear that. But yeah, so I'm excited to have a new start. Even though I feel like I have no business having a new start, I'm excited about it. And it's not a full coverage, so at some point, I have another Quaker. I have that Autumn Quaker that Autumn is as joyful, that I haven't worked on in a little while. So I feel like, am I becoming a Quaker person? I don't know. So this is fun though. Aside from the quote, I need a new quote. So then I have another new start planned for July. This is, I will blame on Alicia and Leanne again. They enabled me, of course. But these cute patterns, and these are from, I didn't even look to see who these are by. Oh, it's So Emma. Yeah. Now I can't imagine that I'm going to make them into pillows. I think what I'm going to do is make them into flat folds, because I did that with something a long time ago and I have not done another one. And I think this would be really cute to put on my mantle for the 4th of July, because I have a 4th of July stitch that I put on my door as like, a front door hanger every July, but I don't have any like patriotic decorations inside my house, and Freedom isn't going to be getting finished anytime soon. So I thought that I would start at least one of these for July. So I think what I'm going to do is pick one of them, and I'm not really sure which one yet. We'll see. I think we're going to start them. I think the plan is to start them on July 4th. So I don't know. I don't know if, I think Leanne and Alicia are going to start the same one, but I am kind of leaning towards this guy, this little Uncle Sam guy, only because it's got a lot of colors in it, and I love this one, but I'm already doing Freedom, which is that. So I might do this one. I don't know. But I don't know if I'm going to want to buck the system or like do the same one they're doing. So I don't know. But I haven't even kitted it up yet. So, I have time to really decide if I'm going to go with the crowd or just be my own person and go with what I want to do. But yeah, I bought this from 123 Stitch when I bought that fabric. And obviously it is a paper pattern, but I think that's fine for smalls like this. I don't have any problem with that. And I already have, I believe it's 18 count black Ada that I was using for smalls a few years ago, and I kind of burned out on them and haven't done any more. I was trying to do like seasonal ornaments kind of a thing. So I'll have to see how big these turn out. I haven't really calculated and cut fabric and all that stuff yet. But if these on 18 count end up being kind of small, I might just make them into little ornaments and then maybe get like a little like tree, like one of those people on FlossTube had like trees from Hirschner's that they're not really trees, but they're like hook trees that you can put stuff on. I believe Laura from Stitchin' by the Shore has one of these trees. I know she does. Yeah. So I might do that if they're small enough when I'm done with them. If not, I'll do flat folds. So yeah. So I might, and also I will probably, whatever one I start with, I will probably do like 100 stitches a day kind of a thing for it to keep me moving on it, but not have it be like a focus all day. So yeah, so that is that purchase and planned new start. And that is all of the stitching haul and new starts. So I have a couple of yarn purchases that I will show you now. I have not bought fancy yarn in a long time, but I follow Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady, and I haven't watched her actual like podcasts for a little bit, but I follow her on Instagram too, and she was showing some socks, patriotic socks that she made out of this sock set, and I just realized there's sweet tarts in there. I love sweet tarts. But anyway, probably not on my diet plan right now. But she started socks with this sock set, and it is from, well, Stitchin' with Yarn on Etsy. And obviously, oh yeah, no, that's her Etsy shop. Yeah. So, and it is hand-dyed yarn, and so good. I have been wanting a patriotic sock set for a long time, and every time I see a sock set online that I want, for some reason, I don't either it sells out too fast before I realize and I don't get to it, or I just like talk myself out of it for some reason. But this time I was like, no, you are getting this. So I would like to cast these on. I haven't made socks in a long time, and I currently have a sock on a needle that has been languishing for a couple of years now. So I kind of feel bad abandoning that one to start a new one, but we're gonna do it. Because I'm thinking that the sock that I'm in the middle of, I might just have to rip it out and start again, because I just don't really remember. You had to have heard that one. And I saw like a bolt of lightning come down, so it scared me a little bit. I'm not a fan of storms. So, if I scream, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited for, oh, they're not sweet tarts, they're Smarties. Apparently I haven't had them in so long, I forgot what they were called. So yeah, that is yarn purchase number 1 and potential July new cast on. And then the last thing I purchased is some yarn from Leanne from Forbidden Fiber Co. She also has a FlossTube, which I will link to. She is Leanne Stitches and Forbidden Fiber Co. on Instagram. She has 2 different channels on Instagram. Leanne Stitches is her more cross-stitch personal stuff, and then Forbidden Fiber Co. is her company where she does cross-stitch patterns. She hand dyes cross-stitch floss, and she has hand-dyed yarn. So, and then she also has Leanne Stitches as her YouTube channel, FlossTube channel. So anyway, she came out with a summer yarn set thing, and I needed to have this, so I bought 2. This is her Subtropic colorway. So pretty. And I bought 2 because, and it's a fingering weight, I believe. Yeah, but it's a little plumper than like the fingering weight I'm doing with the flutter butt. So I'm thinking of doing a Diggory tee by Nitty McPurley in this. I forgot to print the picture, so I'll put a picture of the Diggory tee here. So I'm thinking I want to do this with this. I think I measured it out enough, and it should fit me with just two of these skeins. I'm hoping so. I don't know. Every time I only see two skeins of floss or of yarn, I'm like, I don't think that's enough for my body. But well, it's a t-shirt, so you know, maybe it'll be okay. And plus, hopefully, by the time I get around to actually making this, I will have lost some more weight. So maybe it will fit. If not, maybe I can do, I don't know, like some kind of like other color to finish it off. I don't know. We'll see. But I did want to start this in July, but I would really like to finish the flutter butt shirt first before I cast on for another shirt. So this might end up happening in more like early fall for next summer. We'll see. Or, I mean, really, even though it's a summer colorway, I feel like the colors are rich enough that I could totally wear this in the fall with like a blue cardigan, and that would look lovely. So yeah, I feel like this colorway is versatile. So we'll see. But yeah, folks, I think that is actually all I have for you today, and it wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. That's surprising. Oh no, it probably is going to be as long as I thought it was going to be, because I did have to shut you off one time to go get my water. So yeah, it is going to be a long one, but I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, tell me what you have planned for July. Did you know about Jane Austen July in the BookTube world? Are you going to be reading anything for Jane Austen July? Let me know what you're working on in July. Are you having any new starts? Are you doing any patriotic stitching in July? Yeah, let me know all the things. And also, if you have ever done 75 hard or 75 medium, tell me, because I have been going down a YouTube rabbit hole of people who have done this challenge. So it's like, it's motivating. But also I'm like, I'm tired. I do like doing the weightlifting though. Yeah, it feels good. And we're, Alicia and I have been doing this 8-week program with weightlifting called Ignite. I'll link their YouTube channel down below too. I have a lot of linking to do. And yeah, it's fun, but it's hard. Yeah, oh gosh. And some days I'm just like, I'm so tired. But it's only 3 days a week that I have to do that. So I feel like it's doable. But, so anyway, I'm going to go, since it looks like we are getting a storm, and I don't want to scare you with my screaming. And I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, friends.